Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing something that was pretty highly requested on my Instagram, which is a meal prepping video. So in my opinion, there are three different levels, I guess you could say, to meal prepping. So level number one would be simply planning out your meals, which is already such a great step because if you plan out what you're going to be eating for the week, then you're more likely going to be buying ingredients for those meals, which one is going to save you money because you only buy what you need. Two, there's going to be less waste because once again, you're only buying what you need. And three, if you have healthy ingredients that you planned for, you're much more likely to make healthy meals with those ingredients. So already just planning out on a piece of paper where your meals are going to be for the week is already a really great start. Level number two is preparing ingredients in advance so that when the time comes for you to make your meals during the week, your ingredients and your different parts are pre-prepped so that you can just put them together. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. That is usually how I like to meal prep. I just prep my protein sources, I prep some carb sources, I might prep some vegetables. So then first of all, it gives a little bit more flexibility throughout the week, and it is very quick, very easy to put my meals together when the time comes. And of course, level number three would be full-blown prepping a full meal, putting them in their individual containers and having that in the fridge. So you really just have to grab and go, which can be a great way, especially if you're short on time or if you're a bit more strict or specific with your meals. That's a great way to go. It's not personally how I like to do it, but that is really obviously a great way to go if you want to be a little bit more like 100% on top of your macronutrients or calories. If you didn't know, I'm currently a student, so meal prepping definitely saves me during the week. Usually my breakfasts are pretty much the same thing, so I never plan in advance for my breakfast. I usually just have a nice bowl of oatmeal with some protein powder in there, some peanut butter, some fruits. It's usually very, very simple, very, very similar. I love it. It gets the job done. So I will not be showing any breakfast options today because I never do anything different. I will be showing mostly different lunch options today, which of course can also be transferred onto dinners. Usually dinners, my boyfriend and I like to make something different every night. Cooking dinner is something that we really enjoy. It's our time together. So I also usually don't plan too much in advance for dinners. So this is going to be mainly to help you out with your lunches, that portion in the middle of the day where people usually tend to either just snack here and there or go out to grab something for lunch. It's just the time of the day where people tend to be a little bit less healthy just out of convenience. So that is why meal prepping for that time of the day, I think, is a great way to stay on top of your goals. So the way that I'm going to be going about it today is that I'm going to show you what different components I prep, how I prep them, and then at the end of the video, I'm actually going to tell you all the different meals that I can put together with the different things that I have prepped to show you just how much flexibility and variety it can give you just to prep a couple main things, and then just how many different things you can make with those ingredients throughout the week. So without further ado, let's get into the meal prep. Number one thing I always start by prepping is the protein source. Getting my protein at lunchtime is really important for me. I'm already someone who struggles a little bit to get the amount of protein that I would like to get during the day. So making sure that I have protein pre-prepared in the fridge is probably my number one priority when it comes to meal prepping. So that is why today I'm going to show you two different options for the protein types that I usually like to prepare for my lunches. First protein source that I always have prepped in my fridge every single week is chicken breast. It is a great source of protein, it is a great lean protein, and it can be put into so many different meals very easily throughout the week. So that's why I always make sure to have some pre-prepped. So the protein source number two that I always prepare in advance is some veggie burgers. So right now I have these Dr. Praeger's organic California style veggie burgers. These taste really good. They are not my favorite just because they don't have a lot of protein in them. I like to go for veggie burgers that are a little bit higher in protein because it makes it easier once again for me to reach that protein goal at the end of the day. I will be making my own veggie burgers that are high in protein very soon. So comment in the section below if you would like me to film that recipe for you guys. So yeah, this is the second one that I always have in my fridge. I'm not going to be showing it to you guys today because I already have a few pre-prepped. So I'm not going to prep more just for the sake of it, but I just take them out of the package, put them on a tray in the oven, and follow the instructions. It's as simple as that. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to carbs. So there are at least 2 carb sources that I pre-prep every single week. They are probably 2 of my favorite carb sources. So that is potatoes and rice. So I'm going to show you guys how I make my potatoes. They are absolutely delicious. And then rice, well, it's pretty simple to make, so I'm not going to show you guys how I do that. It's just simple jasmine rice that I use, and I have a rice cooker, which makes my life even easier. But if you don't, a pot will do just fine. Alright, so we've done our protein, we've done our starchy carbs, now we're going to move on to our vegetables. So vegetables are not the most exciting part of a meal, so once again, if you're short on time, if you're rushing a little bit, odds are you might skip your vegetables if they're not prepared in advance. So that is why vegetables are always something that is pre-prepared and that I always have some cooked in my fridge so that it's very easy to just throw into whatever meal I'm having that day. Alright, so we're done with the main ingredients for the lunches. One more thing that I will mention is that sometimes I also prep for snacks. So one great way to do that is to pre-wash and pre-cut some vegetables. If you like to bring vegetables and hummus, for example, let's say, having them pre-cut might make your life much easier once again, especially if you're rushing, if you're a full-time student like me, or if you work full-time, even if you work from home, sometimes taking that extra 15-20 minutes to cut everything up and prepare your little snack might just make you not want to do it and reach for something less healthy instead. So pre-cutting your vegetables beforehand can be another great little part to add to this meal prepping moment. And also you can also wash fruits, pre-cut fruits if that's another thing that you like to do. I personally wash and put grapes in the freezer because frozen grapes are delicious. If you've never tried it, you're missing out. Okay, so we're going to move on to the last little part of this video, which is now explaining the different meals that I actually put together with the ingredients that I showed you. Number one thing that I usually make with these ingredients for lunch is a salad. So I will have some kind of greens in there. I will use some of the pre-cut vegetables, put them in there. I will often either throw in chicken or the veggie burgers that I made, and very often I like to throw potatoes into my salads. Once again, another delicious thing that if you have not tried, you are missing out in life, and I suggest that you give it a try. It's healthier than throwing croutons in there, for example, and it honestly tastes even better in my opinion. Meal number 2 that can be made for lunches is some kind of taco bowl, healthy bowl, Buddha bowl, however you want to call them, but you can just take a bunch of healthy ingredients, throw them together in a bowl. So for example, you could put the rice or the potatoes, you can pick whichever starchy carb you want, throw in some chicken, throw in some ground meat if you would rather prepare ground meat, so whatever protein source you've prepared, throw in some vegetables, and there you have it. A really quick, simple lunch idea that is delicious and that takes you not even 5 minutes if all of your ingredients are already seasoned, prepared, and just waiting for you in the fridge. Option number 3 that I like to make for lunch is some wraps. So I always keep in hand some kind of wrap like this, and I will throw the chicken that I made in there, I'll throw some vegetables, and once again, incredibly delicious, incredibly quick, and it's gonna give you your carb, your protein, and your vegetable source for your lunch. So there you have it. That is realistically what I have been eating pretty much every single lunch for the past few weeks, if not even a few months. I usually just rotate between those 3, and honestly, it completely satisfies my cravings, it keeps me full, and I feel good after I ate that meal. I know that I ate something healthy, that I fueled my body, and that I gave my body all the nutrients that it needs to keep going for the day. I would love to follow up this video by showing some healthy dinner ideas because, like I said earlier, I love to cook dinner. It's one of my favorite parts of the evening. I like to settle in and make a delicious meal. So once again, if you are in the mood to see some healthy dinner ideas, then comment dinner ideas in the comments below and I will make sure to get started on the video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you liked it and to subscribe for more videos. See you guys soon!